Well, hello guys and welcome back to another Premier League predictions. We're in game week 29 as the finale of the league is very quickly approaching. But this week is a bit of a smaller game week. We've only got like 4 matches to go through. 8 teams are playing, so this will be a quick one. You know, they've got FA Cup fixtures and whatnot they need to fulfill. But these are the poor sods that didn't make it through to the next round. My team included. So yeah, we're just going to kick it off with the Saturday fixtures and Burnley versus Brentford. God, what a Saturday we're in for when these two are playing, eh? It's an important relegation clash here as Burnley host Brentford at Turf Moor. Now Brentford have done quite well to distance themselves from the relegation zone as they do sit 5 points clear. The Bees are coming off the back of a loss though, as they failed to beat Arsenal at the Emirates. However, that match wasn't without officiating controversy. Should Havertz have been on the pitch? No. This takes their form to 1 draw from their last 5. Not great form when you're looking to survive, but lucky for them, there's a lot of teams worse off. Burnley performed well at the weekend as they grabbed a very impressive draw against West Ham. Much like their relegation rivals, they scored 2 unanswered, well, 1 and an own goal, before crumbling in the second half. This takes the Clouts' form to 1 draw from their last 5. This keeps them level on points with Sheffield United, with Burnley being ahead purely on their much better goal difference. I'm going to say 2-1 to Brentford though. I can see Brentford taking all 3 points back to London. Both teams have experienced near identical recent form, but there's one team that is clearly better than the other. Brentford have been suffering a lot from injuries this season, and that has definitely affected their form, but they do have some great attacking talent at their disposal, which I think will save them in the end, because they can't really rely on their defence, but if they can score more goals, that's certainly a strategy. Burnley have had their own injury problems, however they're doing much better than their opponents in that regard. Brentford have been much better in attack this season as they've scored 40 goals so far, even without their top striker and Ivan Toney being out for a majority of that. Imagine if he was, kicking ball for the whole season, he'd probably be a lot more goals for Brentford. That 40 goals is much better than the Clarets as they've only scored 27 goals so far this season. Burnley also have the second worst defence in the league too, as they've shipped 62 goals in their 28 games. Brentford haven't been much better at the back though, as they've conceded 52, but hey, 10 less goals is 10 less goals. I can see Burnley grabbing a goal, however I do see Brentford being able to overcome the Clarets and their leaky back line, and it should be another important 3 points for them in their quest for Premier League survival, because they are in a relegation battle. They may be 6 points clear, 5 points clear, but they're still in it, man. And then move on to Luton Town versus Nottingham Forest. It's a relegation 6-pointer as Luton Town host Nottingham Forest at Kenilworth Road. Nottingham Forest are coming back for a loss to Brighton as they failed to beat the Seagulls on the coast. This takes their form to 1 win from 5 as they slip closer to the relegation zone. If you want to see my head loss, check out my last video on Nottingham Forest. It's not looking good, brev. Luton are coming off the back of a loss during the midweek as they failed to beat Bournemouth after going 3-0 up. And what a game that was, man. There was moments of just complete head loss when Luton scored their second and third goal, but Bournemouth did Bournemouth things and managed to claw back and ultimately win the match. So thank God for Dominic Solanke, man. Thank God he remembered how to play football. Jesus Christ. And Semenyo as well, but yeah, Bournemouth aren't playing, so let's move on. They did also draw at the weekend as they shared the points with Palace in the capital as they scored at the death. It was a very vital point for Luton as it put them just 3 points from safety, and as they were winning at Dean Court, Forest did get dropped into the relegation zone. So this is a very, very important match for, well, the relegation zone, really. This is a huge match for both sides. Say a win for Luton would bring them level on points with Forest and could see them climb out of the relegation zone if they better the Reds' goal difference. So if they win by a considerable margin, I think they need a 3-goal margin to overtake us. So, we just need to defend like we've never defended before. Forest need a win here to give them some breathing room for the run-in. And you know what? It might be delusion, but I'm going to say Forest are going to win this 1-0. Like I said, it's probably delusion, but I do see Forest claiming those vital 3 points at Kenilworth Road. Now, if you'd watched my last video, I was very much in a different mindset at the time, but I've thought about things. Yeah, I'm delusional. Luton have been playing some brilliant football recently and will be an extremely tough side to break down, as they're a force to be reckoned with at the Kenny, so Forest are going to have their work cut out for them. Honestly, I go out a limb here and say Luton are probably the favourites to win this match, I'm not going to lie, because you see how they've been playing this season at home, and even their recent away performances as well have been insane. So yeah, I'd honestly put Luton as the favourites to win this match, but I do think Forest have it in them to just claim those 3 points. Luton are awash with injuries at the moment, so this is the ideal time to face them for Forest. However, the same could have been said when we faced Liverpool and Brighton, and you saw how those games went. It really depends on what Forest side shows up. If it's the one that faced Liverpool, we can get a win. If it's the one that faced Brighton, relegators now. Luton have scored more and conceded more than their opponents, but with this being a massively important game for both sides, I can't see it being a high scoring affair. I reckon it'll be quite a scrappy match, but a scrappy win is a win nonetheless, and that is a very important 3 points for Nottingham Forest. All I'm saying, right, Nuno, I know you're a big fan of the channel, just pick your strongest 11, man. Pick the strongest 11 and fucking go at them, okay? So I hope this match galvanises the squad, man, because we need someone to be that catalyst for another brilliant survival run. Come on, boys, we can do this. I'm going to be my head's going to be gone when they score like 4 before half time. If you see me face down in the Trent, just leave me there. We move on to the final Saturday fixture as we do Fulham versus Tottenham. It's a cross-London clash as Fulham host Tottenham in West London. Spurs are coming back with a win as they dominated Aston Villa and Birmingham. It was a very impressive performance from the North London outfit as they showed that they're very much still in contention for a Champions League spot come end of the season. This takes their run to 3 wins and a draw from their last 5. Fulham weren't so fortunate though, as they're coming off the back of a loss to Wolves in the West Midlands. This takes the Cottagers' form to 3 wins from their last 5, as they stay firmly mid-table. I'm going to say 3-1 to Spurs. I do see Spurs taking the 3 points to North London and further building a case for a top 4 finish. Tottenham have been very impressive in attack this season, scored 59 goals so far, and that's even with the various attacking players that they've had to recycle, through injury throughout the season. Fulham seem to have found their shooting boots as well, as they've scored 40 goals so far this season, with a couple 5-0 results sprinkled in for good measure. Spurs have been better at the back than their opponents too, conceding 39 goals to their opponents' 44. The main issue for Tottenham though is their injury list, with a handful of players still sidelined through injury. One of their main attacking cogs in Richarlison has been sidelined with a knee issue recently, and while they've shown they don't need him to score goals, he is still quite a big loss for them. I think he's their second top goal scorer at the moment. He's honestly been revolutionised under Ange and has looked like a goal scoring machine, to be honest. I do see Fulham scoring a goal. They've got some good attacking options at their disposal, but I do see Spurs claiming their 3 points and further solidifying their place as a Champions League contender, man. It's between them and Villa, and right now Spurs are looking in the ascendancy, and looks like Villa may just slip away. And then we move on to the Sunday fixture, the final fixture of this game week, and it's West Ham versus Aston Villa. It's another claret and blue clash for West Ham, and one they'll be hoping that goes better than their last. The Hammers host Aston Villa at the London Stadium, as both teams are looking for a route into Europe. Villa are coming back with a loss to Spurs, as they were demolished in Birmingham. This takes the Villains' form to 3 wins from their last 5. West Ham haven't been enjoying as good form though, as they're coming off the back of a draw against Burnley. This takes the Hammers' form to 2 wins and a draw from their last 5. Every point counts for both sides here, as they'll have European hopes that they're looking to uphold and hopefully achieve by the end of the season. Villa want that Champions League and West Ham just want some more European football. I'm going to say 2-1 though. I think Aston Villa will take all 3 points back to Birmingham. Both teams were on the end of some very unfortunate results at the weekend, so we're looking to bounce back and return to winning ways. I think Villa have the best shot at doing that. Villa have scored 59 goals so far this season, playing some brilliant attacking football under Emery, but have also been on the end of some pretty heavy defeats. West Ham haven't been as successful in attack though, scoring 45 goals so far this season, and the Hammers have also conceded more goals than their opponents too, conceding 49 to Villa's 41. Unfortunately for the Villains though, they are suffering from a few more injuries than their opponents, but Villa have shown that they can perform with the players they have at their disposal, and some of them are for very good attacking options. West Ham will look to make it tough for their opponents in the capital, but I do think that ultimately Villa will claim those all-important 3 points for the Champions League quest. It's going to be a very important match. Obviously they'll know what Spurs have done the day before. Will that galvanise them a bit more? It could do, but either way I think Villa are going to claim those all-important 3 points and stay just ahead of Tottenham in that race for the top 4. I think West Ham will claim European football anyway, man. They always seem to do it somehow, so yeah, they don't really need to worry. But yeah, I've been O2GT. That's been a very short Premier League predictions video, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. FPL is going to be a shambles. But yeah, hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Peace.